Hi everybody, my name's Chris, I'm from Jerry's Fishing. Today's video is about Zziplex rods. So middle of November 2023, Century announced that they had bought Ziplex and they were bringing some of the rods back to the market, which is, I think you'd agree with me, is a fantastic thing for the UK sea fishing community, obviously further afield, because obviously they're a global brand and people from Italy and varying other countries love the rods. So one of the questions we've had from day one, and we get asked pretty much every day, is are the rods the same? Are the rods that were made by Lee and the late Terry several years ago down in Kent the same rods as the ones that are now produced from Century in Washington in the northeast? And the easy answer is yes. So what happened was Century approached Barbara Carroll, that was the owner of Ziplex, and basically they worked an agreement. So they bought all the tooling, they bought the mandrels, which is basically the metal rod that the carbon's wrapped around to obviously give the rod its design. They sourced the carbon from the same places. They have the wizard book of what amounts of carbon and what resins went together. So really we've got four rods that have come back out, which are obviously existing rods. We've got the M4 GT, the M4 Evo, the Profile GT and the Profile Evo. These rods in terms of build spec are exactly the same. One that you bought, somebody may have bought 12-18 months ago, and one that's bought today, you will see no difference in terms of the materials, the lengths, the quality of the build is exactly the same. The difference on the rods is probably slightly in the finish. So previously, any Ziplex that was made just as a plain blank. They come with a gloss finish, and then it was up to the retailer to get it built in certain colours, certain rings, add reel seats, or even customise the rod, which was something that was very, very popular. So I here have got two rods here. I've got one which is a blank I put aside for myself. This is an Evolution CT. This come out of the Kent factory. I put this aside for me maybe 12-18 months ago, and I finally got it built. And what I wanted to do is just show you an M4 Evo. So sit next to each other and see how close they are. So the finish of them is exactly the same. In terms of the blank, I'll put some stills up so you can see like the inside of the actual insides of the rod, so you can see the way the carbon's laid and the tips, and you'll see no difference at all, because down to the smallest detail these rods are exactly the same whether they come out of the previous Kent factory or up in Washington in the Century factory. What you do get though is a few little upgrades, I'd say, on the standard build specs of the rods. So if we looked at these here, and someone says, what's the difference? What do I get from buying a off-the-rack Ziplex rod from 2022 and one from 2024? So previously, all Ziplex rods come with this plain gloss shrink tube. Obviously you can change this whenever. Now, the new rods come with this soft touch shrink tube, which you actually see on the Century rods, which I think is a definite upgrade. It's a bit grippier, it's nicer to touch, it's still very, very durable, but I think that's a nice upgrade on the rods. Reel seat wise, is obviously when you bought a Ziplex you could pick anything. The reel seats were something that didn't come as standard. Century have standardised this by adding an adjustable Fuji reel seat. So it basically slides up and down the rod, and when you put the reel on, it tightens up. It also comes with a duplon grip, so you can keep it in the place you want. Because most of the time, when you've found where you want your rig, where you want your reel, you don't really want to move it. You don't want to be adjusting it all the time. These keep it in place. They're a handy little feature. As we move up the rods, obviously, as you can see, the stickers, they're exactly the same. The coloration, the standard colours come in a red, white and blue coloration. So this is almost identical in colours to older models. A lot of people got them customised. To be fair, we still offer the options to customise the rods. If you want that, obviously just drop us a message. But yeah, it's the metallic blue underneath, the white banding, black over, and the red and the white. This is on the bottom ring and the bottom ring of the tip section. So the biggest two rings have this coloration. Above that, they're just done in a plain black that looks really smart. The next upgrade, I'd say, in terms of cosmetics on the two rods is between the grips on the rods. So again, I'll put a nice comparison still up. But the standard rods didn't come with any grips, so we just finished with this nice bit of whipping at the top to finish the rod. All the new ones, they come with this soft touch grip, which is fantastic on a cold, wet January evening like it is at the moment. It's sometimes hard work getting your rods apart. Grip on both sections, so you can grip it, pull across. There's no extra cost to that. That comes as a standard part of the build. And then if we move on to the tip sections, the tips really, you know, they're identical in build. So moving up from them, grips, the rings, you know, they feature the ATC guides, which is a standard build for quite some time previously. Moving up in the straight black, and then obviously the tips. If you want tip tape, we can put tip tape on them. But the actual rods themselves are completely identical. If you have any queries about these, you know, please get in touch. But hopefully I've debunked a few myths there about people that were saying the Century rods in disguise, etc. They're not. They're still genuine Zziplex rods, and some of the new ones that have gone out, people are raving about them. And yeah, happy days. Ziplex is back. A question that everyone also asks me is, what's next? What's coming out from Ziplex in the next range? So nothing's been confirmed. Personally, I'd like to see an M427 come out, something a little bit heavier for some of the rough ground fishing. Nothing's been confirmed yet. We will find out hopefully late 2024 if they want to add to the range. Any questions, please to get in touch. Obviously, if you want a Ziplex, you can buy them on our website, jerrysfishing.com. Obviously, we offer the customization service, so if you want different colours, different rings, different reel seats, etc., we do all of that. You can find that on the website as well. Okay, thank you.